In 2003, I got my first game console, the Game Boy Advance, and one game. This game, Pokemon Sapphire. I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6. Couldn't read yet, not exaggerating. I played this entire game by sound, color, and vibes. And no, just because there's plants back there doesn't mean you should eat them. There's something wrong with you. And for the first days, weeks, I did something kind of incredible. Every time I turned it on, I started the whole game over. Maple, these plants are not for consumption. Do you too have a cat? Have you ever wished that your cat would leave your stuff alone too, so that you could have nice things? Me too. Take 3007. Much like this script, I started the game over again, every single time. From the beginning, naming the character, the professor's speech, Route 101, all of it, every single time. Because no one told me that you could save. Much like I just saved those plants from my monster cat. My beautiful monster back there. My beautiful Pokemon. I genuinely believed that's what a video game was. A world that reset the moment you stopped believing in it. And it took my big sister sitting me down and showing me that the save button existed, so the world would finally stay. I put in over 300 hours into this little tiny cartridge. Whoa, oh my god. It's more time than I've ever given any single Pokemon game before or since. And that save file still is on here, right now, in my hands. I haven't pressed continue in 20 years. I want to talk to you about the worlds that stay, and the Nintendo game that they'll never make. Sapphire was my first game, and I was just automatically obsessed with it. Road trips, summer vacation, after school. If it was somewhere, Hoenn was also nearby. And remember, I couldn't read. Every sign in every town, every move description, every old man blocking every road, no idea what they said. Which means I wasn't really playing a game, I was living in a place. Kids don't read their neighborhoods either, they just know it. My team, for the record, obviously Mudkip, who became Swampert, a Ralts I raised into Gardevoir. Gardevoir. I'm a little French. Rosalia, and Altaria that became my first level 100 Pokemon ever. And listen, no rare candies, no cheats, I couldn't read about it anyways. Just battles. Hundreds and hundreds of battles. I didn't nickname any of them because again, I couldn't read. Thankfully, I worked on that skill. I loved the elegant, pretty Pokemon, of course. Still do. Some things about a person never change. Here's my favorite thing little me did. I beat the Elite Four, all 5 battles in a row, without healing between fights. Not as a challenge run. I just didn't know you could. Nobody told me. So I just trained up my team over and over and over again until they could sweep the entire Pokemon League raw. People invented the Nuzlockes to make these games hard again. 5-year-old me just got there first, completely by accident, before I could even read the word heal. And then, after the credits, I just kept playing. 300 hours. I would just wander around in that world, surf, dive, walk, routes around. I'd surf, dive, and walk routes I'd finished for no reason, because beating the game was never the point. Being there was. Hold on to that feeling. Because a world with nothing left to give them, that they didn't want to leave. That kid was asking for a game that wouldn't exist for another 23 years. Now, every single Pokemon game for 30 years has started the exact same way. A professor appears out of nowhere and welcomes you to the world. So if I'm gonna bitch you a game, let's do this properly. Oh my god. Now we're gonna pause the recording while I get my cat some food. It's Professor Coak, baby. That's Professor Coak to you. It's me. Professor Coak. Professor Cherricoak. It's me. Well, that really set the tone. Okay. And I introduce you to Pokémon World! In this world, you will travel through every region that has ever existed. Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, Galar, Paldea. Not the remakes, not the re-releases. One world, one map, we can walk there. It's going too fast. Battle the best of every generation. Catch regional Pokemon. Every single one of them. Every Alolan, every Galarian, every Hisuian form, all in one Pokedex. Visit the Sevi Islands. Find hidden places and see what everyone's been up to. What are Team Magma and Team Aqua doing these days? Is Team Galactic hiring? What's the vibe in Lumos City? Who's checked in into Hotel Z? This world is current. It moves without you. And that's what makes it a world. And every tool you've ever loved, the Versus Seeker, any trainer, rematched anywhere, well, kind of. The Pokénav ringing with challenge calls, the Poketch, the Fame Checker, collecting gossip like it matters, because it does. The personal tools, the ones that made the world feel like you knew it. And how do you travel between them, those regions? Any way you've ever dreamed. Take the ferry, stand on the deck, and watch as the next region rises over the horizon. Fly there on the back of a Pokemon. Surf the open sea. Dive beneath it. And when two regions share a border, you just walk. Ride your bike across, like Ash strolling into a new season with a new hat. Distance is real here. Crossing is just a part of the adventure. And there's more than one way to travel, but no one expects it. Because the regions are always connected. Underneath. A whole new underground that stretches deeper and further than you'd ever imagine. Dig between regions, break into new caverns no one's ever mapped. Build your secret base down there. We're bringing secret bases back. In trees, in bushes, in caves. Wherever you find a spot that feels like yours, and hold it all together, the National Dex was never going to be enough. Introducing the Global Dex. Every Pokemon, every form, every region, learn them all, catch them all across the entire globe. But here's what makes Pokemon World different than every game before it. You know how Faulkner runs his city? How every gym leader you've ever beaten belonged somewhere? In 30 years of Pokemon, you never got to. Pokemon World fixes that, and it makes you earn it step by step. Step 1, the journey. Pick any region, play it the way that you always have. Badges, League Champion, nothing is handed to you. Step 2, the gym license. Become champion of your second region. And the League offers you something no other Pokemon game has. Pick a town without a gym, and any region you've conquered and found one. Your type specialty, your puzzle, your team. You design your own badge. Or take the other road. Challenge a sitting gym leader for their seat and win the succession match. Either way, then you defend it. Trainers and friends come to you now. You're not the challenger anymore. You're on the wall. Step 3, the charter. Run your gym well, win your defenses, host challengers, earn your reputation, and the league offers you the big one, the right to develop untamed land. There are wild territories out there, an archipelago, a canyon country, a snowfield. You survey them, you choose. Nobody sells you this, you can't buy it, you earn the deed, you know? And then you get the duels. Terraform your routes, raise your towns, stock your wilds with Pokemon native to your biome. You've set the encounter tables now. Invite characters you meet on your journey to move in. That leader you loved battling, she might open a shop in your capital. Another might ask you to open a gym in one of your cities, build a hotel, build a contest hall if you earn it, and the hotel. Oh, the hotel. The rooms fill themselves. Friends dropping in, a gym leader on a holiday, an Elite Four member checked in under a fake name, even your mom. Finally taking a vacation she's deserved since like 2003. Or whenever. You don't just create your guests, they show up the way that people do, each with a little story while they stay. And here's what makes it a world, and not just a save file. It's yours. Your friends can come in, they visit your region, they challenge your gyms, they trade with you, battle you, explore routes that you built, catch Pokemon you stocked in region, sleep in the hotel you raised, and deep in the endgame, your worlds trade with each other. Your quarry's stone for the orchard's berries. Friends, regions woven together. It's a lot of work, and that's the point. Because there's a lot of reward. Every single piece of it earned. You don't beat Pokemon World, you move in. Here's the thing about Pokemon World, I don't have to convince you people want it. You people. Because people already built it right now for free, illegally. What you're looking at is Pokemon Unbound, a completely fan-made game built inside of a 20-year-old Emerald cartridge. And I'll just say it, it's one of the better games I've played. Coming from Pokemon, even though it's not Pokemon. And I've played it on its hardest difficulty, and yes, I've turned it down because it's just too hard. And Unbound isn't a miracle, it's a scene. There's dozens of these. There's ones you play as Team Rocket Grunt. I played it in Spanish one time because, well, practice, and honestly, there was more of the region to explore in the Spanish version than the English one, and that's kind of the ambition I wish I had, like, within the main games. Again, fans have been building the multi-region dream for decades, with no assets, no engine, no permission, and no pay. Imagine what they would build with them. Now to the now to the part of the story where I have to be honest with you. Pokémon Uranium, 9 years of fan development, taken down 9 days after launch. Pokémon Prism, same story. The community builds cathedrals, knowing the bulldozer is coming. Because the company that owns Pokémon, and I say this with love, the most legally aggressive rights holder in video games. And here's the thing, I'm not gonna pretend that's pure evil, because it isn't. Pokemon is the single highest grossing media franchise on Earth. When you're worth that much, everything looks like a threat. Every fan game that's too good doesn't read as flattery to them. It reads as competition for the next mainline release. Mario Maker worked partly because Mario levels are disposable. A great Pokemon region is not disposable. And that's the real reason this game doesn't exist, not because they can't build it. Because they're afraid of what happens if we can. Everything I've pitched leans on games from 15 to 20 years ago, and I know exactly what that looks like. I used to think that it was nostalgia too, and that I'm old as I'm not so sure about either anymore. And I want to show you why. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Nope. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. What? Hold on, let's try this all again. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, 2003. Secret bases. Use one move in the right tree, and a piece of the world becomes yours. You decorated it. Friends could find it. Diamond and Pearl, 2007. An entire underground for digging, decorating, and capture the flag with your friends. Black and White 2, 2012. For my money, as quite possibly the best game in the series right next to Gen 3, Join Avenue, which, hold on, pause, because I didn't actually know about this one until I was doing research on this to see if there was anything I was missing. I didn't have many friends growing up, so I didn't know about this feature. And that sucks. And I can't use it now because no one else is playing. But it's fine. It's fine. Fine. A literal street where travelers from around the world opened up shops and you ran the block. What? That's so cool. And it wasn't just mechanics. Maybe I can still do this. I didn't know. Where do I go in Gen 5? No, I'll figure it out. And it wasn't just the mechanics. In Gen 3, almost every door opened. Every door. And the people inside, they said things that mattered. a berry, a TM, a secret, somebody's whole story. Now, most doors don't open, and most people say nothing at all of any use. Notice the pattern? Every one of these mechanics said in the same sentence, you live here. Now, watch what replaced them. Megas, Z-moves, Dynamax, Terrastall, one per generation, each gone by the next. Spectacular? Sure. But none of them said you live here, and that they said, watch this. And then they were gone. Because spectacle doesn't persist. Places persist. And it's not that modern Pokemon is bad. Scarlet and Violet. And it's not that modern Pokemon is bad. Scarlet and Violet are just, honestly, too much. I prefer playing on the older Switch, actually, because on the new hardware, somehow it makes it more overwhelming. Like, there's so many things to click, and so many things to run into and look at, and it's like, what am I doing? Legends EA, that's like more world, less places, you know? Genuinely fun while I'm playing it, and then I put it down and just completely forget it exists. That never happens with the games that gave me a base, a street, a hole in the ground that was mine. Oh, goodbye, Switch controller. So no, I don't think it's nostalgia, and I don't think I'm just that old. I think the games used to be built around the question they stopped asking. What here belongs to you? Pokémon World isn't a step backwards. It's that question, asked at a scale of an entire planet. Oh, you thought I was done? Because if all Pokémon World did give back the mechanics we lost, that would already be enough. Why do I sound ancient? But you deserve the full picture, so rapid fire, let's go. Your Pokemon walk beside you through every region, all of them, always. Cooking is real. Learn a recipe in one region, keep it forever. Study in Kalos, serve it in your hotel. Make your own Poké Balls if you want. You don't have to, but the person who created the ball that catch the legendary gets to be the one that says it forever. Hold on. You don't have to, but the person who crafted the ball that caught the legendary gets to say that forever. And your wardrobe travels. Every style you unlock in any region, mixed however you want. All the tools stop being one and done. Remember the Sylph Scope? In 30 years, it has existed in exactly 2 sets of games, Gen 1 and its remix. You use it once in the tower, and then it collects dust forever. Wait, we used it in Gen 3. The games are full of these. The Pokemon Flute, the Devon Scope. Oh wait, the Devon Scope. Oh, that's what it is. Sorry, my bad. The Squirt Bottle. Brilliant tools. Used exactly once. Not in Pokemon World. The Sylph Scope travels with you, recalibrated in every region to reveal that region's ghosts. Every tool you earn stays earned, and some of them even grow. Start in any region. The world levels with you, and sometimes the world pushes back. You arrive somewhere new and your Pokeballs aren't compatible yet. A villain team takes down the PC system. With your new team in it, a region's invasive species laws mean that your partner has to wait back at the border. You get them back. It's never going to be a punishment. It's just the world being real and making you fall in love with starting over again and again. Which, if you watch the beginning of this video, you know I have some experience with. And here's what makes it hit different. You're not 10 in this game. You're grown, mid-20s, seeing the world for what it is. Your choices are real ones. What your region reads, what your region eats, and yes, I mean that question. The one every Pokemon game has dodged for 30 years. Plant-based or Pokemon-based? And your region lives with how you answer. A spirit travels with you from your very first route. It remembers what you did in every region. It shows you your impact. It lets you go back and repair things. Sometimes you have to get creative though. And once you hold a charter, you even write your region's laws. And the world responds, ask the right one, and someone like N might knock on your door. And the cemeteries, every generation has one. We all tiptoed past them as kids. We're older now. Pokemon World is old enough to actually let us grieve there, okay? In this idea. Because Pokemon World knows something that no Pokemon game has ever admitted. You grew up, and it grows up with you. And before anyone asks, No, there's not a difficulty menu. The simple path is always there for everyone always, but the depth is in the world. Cross-region mechanics, trade routes, energy politics, Terra and Paldea, Z-Power and Alola. And yes, you can earn the right to bring that energy home, and yes, other regions might have opinions about it. The game never asks you to pick a difficulty. You show it who you are. I don't know. Now, here's the thing about everything I just said. The following Pokemon existed. The cooking exists. The contests, the musicals, the film studios, the bases, the underground, the trading, the customization existed. Every piece of this game has already been built, tested, and loved in some region or some generation. Nothing in Pokemon World is fantasy. It's inventory, darling. So, can this actually happen? Here's the annoying part. Nintendo already proved it can. Mario Maker didn't cannibalize Mario. It kept Mario alive for a decade between releases, on levels made by kids and sickos. Minecraft's marketplace made building the game. Fortnite and Roblox turned player creators into an economy. People make actual livings building inside someone else's world. The model isn't a theory, it's the most proven idea in modern gaming. It's just the fact that the only franchise that hasn't tried it yet is the biggest one. And here's how Pokemon could do it without losing control of anything. First, nothing goes public without review. Every region gets checked before the world can play it. Exactly how Mario Maker did it, Nintendo keeps the keys. Second, the assets arrive in waves, maybe, because I'm just trying to really pitch this idea, you guys. And this might help, okay? Launch with Kanto's Toolbox, next year Johto's. Every generation becomes a holiday, a reason to come home. Third, and this is the big one, the best builders get paid. Maybe. Not sued. Paid, maybe. The same way YouTubers share money with the people who make it worth watching, Pokemon World shares with the people who build worlds worth visiting. The team behind Uranium shouldn't have gotten a taken down letter. They should have gotten a paycheck. And one rule holds it all together. You can build worlds, share worlds, even earn from worlds, but nobody ever buys or sells a Pokemon. The creature stays sacred. And that's what keeps it Pokemon. They don't have to fight their fans, they could just let us in. The people building regions and basements for free aren't pirates, they're proof of demand. Some of them, honestly, should probably be on payroll though. And if there ever were a moment, it's this one. 30 years of Pokemon, a whole new generation on the horizon. A whole adult audience that grew up in these worlds with money, taste, and grief about what's been left behind. We are the market research. We've been doing it in basements for 20 years. For free, under threat. Imagine what happens when it's finally allowed into the light. That's the pitch. And notice what it isn't. It isn't a level editor, and it isn't a sandbox. It's a world that simulates, where everything is earned, where your choices have consequences you have to deal with, and where the reward for mastering every region that has ever existed is a place in the world that is genuinely and permanently yours. That's the whole dream. One game, one world, and a place with your name on that door. My coworkers have a nickname for me. Espion. They don't know that much about my life outside of work. That's the thing about this franchise people miss when they call it a kid's game. We grew up inside of these worlds. They're load-bearing. Strangers can read us by using them. Honestly, these games raised me. Actually raised me. The way I see animals, the way I move through the world. Some of that started in Hoenn. And that's a whole nother video. Tell me about it in the comments if you want to see it. I've thought a lot about why I never pressed continue on this little tiny cartridge. And I just don't know. I don't know what to do there anymore. Sapphire was a world I was given. One cartridge that never changed and never could. Pokémon World is the world I'd give back. The world where some other, I don't know, probably teenager, I don't think a kid should play this game, who maybe can't read yet either, probably a teenager. It's 2026. Gets to grow up and beat their Elite Four and build a place with their name on that door. Nintendo, you know where to find me. I've got 300 hours of references in, well, just that one. It's like thousands in the others too. I just didn't want to admit it. Your very own legend is about to unfold. Signing off, Professor Cherricoak. Just kidding. Honestly, if I was like a poison type gym leader, it would be like the sickest beat. Are you kidding me? Like we'd throw it the down into there and I'd be like, are you ready for my poison type? You know? Anyways, just forget about it. Thanks for tuning in, and there goes my Switch remote one more time!